First of all, let me say that the event at State House last night was an affirmation of the role of and place of the creative industry in the development of our country, both economically, culturally, and in terms of the branding of this country. That event was the evidence that for once the debate about music industry, the creatives in general, is being brought from the back burner to the front page. We are now sitting at the front table to bring the creatives and particular musicians whom I represent to a conversation like that and have the recognition of the government at all levels, from the county government through the Ministry of Sports and the Arts to the president himself, and to have these issues articulated in the great statement that the president gave, gives us hope that we are now turning around the page. Because the business of copyright and the business of the creatives calls for an ecosystem where different players, including the creatives themselves, the CMOs that represent them, the consumers of their music, and the policymakers and government in general to come together. No one party can succeed without the other. You need the ecosystem to function seamlessly and ceaselessly so that musicians can be able to benefit. Because for instance, if you have your music, you produce good music, it's played on radio, played on matatus, played on social gatherings, and there is no policy to ensure that you are able to collect the royalties accruing from the use of copyrighted musical works in those events, you end up poor. And that's the situation we have been in, where big musicians, people who have entertained us for years, end up poor. When they fall sick, we have to do fundraisers. They have no insurance cover. They have no circle of their own. Musicians should be having a circle. Musicians should be having a cover. And these things are because of the lack of coherence in the ecosystem that I'm talking about. That the government must play its role to fight piracy and enforce compliance with copyright law.